I refrained from wrapping my arms around her, though inwardly I thought, if only I could have this speed myself. In under half an hour, I began to smell the salty sea breeze. Before my eyes, the expanse of Bohai's waters came into view. After traveling at high speed for half an hour, my entire body was numb. "Where in Bohai?" Lei Mu asked. "The Bohai Dragon Palace," I answered. Lei Mu didn't pause. She carried me straight toward the Bohai Dragon Palace. 10 minutes later, we stopped midair, hovering above the Bohai Sea. I looked down to see stormy waves, peaks of water rising like they wanted to swallow us whole. The Dragon King of Bohai had passed away, and it was clear the sea was in disarray. "The Dragon Palace is below," Lei Mu pointed toward the seabed. "The Dragon King's fall has left the Bohai Sea without a leader," she murmured. Suddenly, she asked, "How are you so sure the 1,000-year fox spirit is in Bohai?" "The last time I encountered a fragment of the plague god, it was here," I said. "I see. And then?" Lei Mu pressed. "The fragment once said something to the Bohai Dragon King, something like it was addressing a woman. 'Your injuries have just healed.' At the time, I didn't think much of it, assuming it was someone the Dragon King had arranged for the plague god to look after. But thinking back on it, I had overlooked the meaning behind the fragment's words. That was around the same time I had parted ways with the 1,000-year fox spirit, as the fragment descended to the mortal realm. The timelines matched. I concluded that after separating from me, the 1,000-year fox spirit encountered this miracle fallen from the heavens, the fragment of the plague god. He met the 1,000-year fox spirit, harbored wicked intentions, healed her wounds, and then forcibly took over her body. I had cast divinations for the 1,000-year fox spirit before, and each result pointed back to the plague god. No wonder something had felt off. How could things turn out well when it involved the plague god? The 1,000-year fox spirit, clinging to the hope of recovery, must have been grateful, only to wind up in utter despair at what happened next. How shocked and helpless she must have felt. The thought weighed heavily on me. "Oh, how coincidental," Lei Mu mused. "With the plague god's temperament, it wouldn't be surprising for him to do something like that. That just makes her chances of survival all the slimmer," she sighed. I grew more nervous. "Godmother, I'll handle the affairs of the mortal world myself." "It's better if you don't get involved," I said. If others found out, or if the Dragon Palace tried to drag her into celestial conflicts, Lei Mu would be put in a tough spot. Besides, with the Dragon King gone, no one in the palace could stop me now. "You called me godmother, and now you want me to just let you go on your own?" Lei Mu shook her head. "I'll just stay hidden, it'll be fine." As she spoke, the lightning cloaking her dissipated, revealing a tall, stunning woman. She had sharp brows, defined lips, a high nose bridge, and an exceptionally rare kind of dignified beauty. She didn't emit any spiritual aura, indicating she was accustomed to walking around in the mortal realm as an ordinary person. I nodded, unable to contain my urgency, and leaped from the sky. Splash! The sound of breaking waves echoed as I plunged into the surging sea. Since I was only one step away from inheriting the divine dragon's power, the seawater no longer affected me. I didn't need to hold my breath or use any oxygen tanks. I could breathe freely, as if I were standing on land, without any risk of suffocation. At this point, I could stay underwater for 3 days and nights, even for over a dozen days if needed. I propelled myself forward, diving deeper into the sea. Splash! Another sound came from behind as Lei Mu leaped in as well. She could have transformed into a bolt of lightning and reached the Dragon Palace in an instant, but in order to remain concealed, she had to descend slowly. The Thunder Mother swam to my side, guiding me through narrow rocks and coral. In less than 10 minutes, we saw a vast palace on the ocean floor. The millennia-old fox spirit must still be here. However, a group of shrimp soldiers and crab generals, each larger than a human, suddenly charged out of the Dragon Palace, armed with sharp weapons, surrounding us tightly. The Thunder Mother and I remained unfazed. These shrimp soldiers bore scars and looked exhausted. It turned out that the news of the Bohai Dragon King's demise had attracted opportunists ready to loot the place. "Who are you? How dare you trespass into the Bohai Dragon Palace?" barked the leader, a giant shrimp. "Leave at once, or don't blame us for being rude." I didn't speak. Instead, I drew the Thunderstrike bamboo sword, slashing it to release a 20-meter glow that split the nearby boulder, leaving a clean cut. The shrimp soldiers were visibly shaken. "I'm only here to find someone. I won't touch anything. Get out of the way, or I won't be so polite," I said coldly. They were stunned, unsure how to react. With the Dragon King gone, they had no confidence. Intimidating them turned out to be the easiest solution. I turned to the Thunder Mother. "Godmother, we can go in now." She nodded. We swam to the gates of the Dragon Palace. Just as I was about to push them open, I stopped and turned to the leader. "You, come here." The shrimp rushed over obediently and respectfully asked, "What is your command?" "The plague god, has he been here before?" I asked. "Yes, the plague god descended to drink with our dragon king," the shrimp answered. "Did he bring a woman?" I pressed further. The Thunder Mother stared him down. "A woman? I think so. She was beautiful, tall, and didn't seem too happy. How could a millennia-old fox spirit ever be happy?" I exhaled deeply. So it was indeed the plague god's avatar that encountered the fox spirit and forced her to come here. I asked nervously, "Did she leave?" "She didn't," the shrimp replied. "Didn't leave?" The Thunder Mother's expression changed. She sighed. My heart nearly broke. The plague god had been gone for so long. The fox spirit must have realized something had happened to him. If she didn't take the chance to leave, there was likely only one explanation. Unable to bear her humiliation, she had taken her own life. "Take me to her right now," I ordered urgently. "Certainly, please follow me." The shrimp opened the gates and led the way without hesitation. The Thunder Mother and I hurried in. In my heart, I kept repeating, "Fox spirit, I know what you've been through. Please, you have to still be alive." As we stepped into the Dragon Palace, the Thunder Mother's expression suddenly changed. "This is bad. Godmother, what's wrong?" A sense of dread rose within me. I searched using my divine sense. I couldn't detect her heartbeat. "I'm afraid." The Thunder Mother's face was filled with regret. "No." My eyes widened as I dashed into the palace. The interior was grand and intricate, gilded and glowing. Handmaidens stared at me in terror. I shouted for the shrimp to hurry and lead the way, my voice thundering. The shrimp, visibly shaken, scrambled to move ahead and lead. "This way." Soon, the shrimp brought us to the entrance of a spacious chamber. The door was firmly shut. It was clear that after the plague god's avatar left, the Bohai Dragon King had also been here recently, which explained why the door had remained closed. "She should still be inside," the shrimp said nervously. My hands trembled, and my emotions were in utter turmoil. The millennia-old fox spirit was behind this door, but I suddenly found myself unable to summon the courage to open it. I feared pushing the door open and finding her lying cold on the ground, her face frozen with resentment and sorrow. I feared having to break the news to her daughter. I feared witnessing the desolation of her abandoned body left without care. "She's still inside," the shrimp, seeing my hesitation, cautiously repeated. I placed my hand on the door, slowly pushing it open. A long creak echoed like the sound of an old, long-sealed door being forced apart. A strong smell of alcohol immediately wafted out. It was clear that the plague god and the Bohai Dragon King had once enjoyed themselves here, with the fox spirit by their side. The scent of wine was mingled with the fragrance of her presence, along with traces of struggle. The more the plague god drank in delight, the more pain the fox spirit must have endured. Inside, the room was pitch black and eerily silent. The dragon palace under the sea had no natural light. Without lamps, the darkness was infinitely deeper than that above land. My heart was on the verge of collapse. Struggling to keep my feelings in check, I cautiously stepped inside. I kept my eyes on the floor, 1,000 frantic prayers racing through my mind, all begging not to see her lifeless body. I was even more terrified of looking into her once beautiful eyes, now filled with despair, should they meet mine. Suddenly, the door slammed shut behind me with a loud bang. The room plunged into complete darkness. Still caught in the throes of my desperation, I suddenly felt an icy wind blow across my face. Before I could react, a pale, slender hand shot out and wrapped tightly around my neck. The hand moved with lightning speed, striking with pent-up fury. I immediately seized the hand, sensing something unusual. It was unnaturally warm, far warmer than any living being should be. Just as I began to grasp the strangeness of this sensation, another hand suddenly lunged at me. I tried to catch it as well, but this time, the hand extended a thin, sharp needle. The movements were so quick and concealed that I widened my eyes in shock. The needle shot towards my eye, nearly piercing into my eyeball. If not for my exceptionally sharp vision, I wouldn't have noticed it at all. This life-taking needle is instantly fatal. Panicked, I turned sideways to dodge. The needle grazed past my ear and embedded into the wall with a sharp thud. The power was terrifying, sending cold sweat streaming down my face. Before the echoes faded, a hoarse and desperate voice, filled with fury and near madness, screamed, "Plague God, I'll kill you." Immediately, a figure, like a human bomb on the brink of explosion, charged at me in a frenzy. I froze. Faced with such a crazed attack, I actually felt happy. When the person got close, I didn't counterattack or defend. Instead, I tightly embraced her. "I'll kill you. I'll kill you." The woman in my arms struggled violently. Her voice, hoarse but filled with agony and madness, carried the weight of endless torment, pushing her to the edge of collapse. You men. I'll kill all of you, she resisted even more fiercely. I had no choice but to hold her tighter, offering her warmth. It's me, I whispered. Boom! She froze immediately, ceasing all struggles and screams, as though turned to stone in disbelief. In the darkness, there was only our breathing. My breath brushed against her face, and she began trembling. It's me. I'm sorry. I'm late, I said again. At this moment, all the tension in my body drained away. The millennial-old fox spirit in my arms, she was still alive. It's you? Am I dreaming? Her quivering voice was tinged with disbelief. It's not a dream. It's me. You're safe now. It's all over, I gently reassured her. I knew you'd come find me, she murmured, her voice softening. But then, her tone changed. The days of repression, worry, and fear finally broke her completely. I felt the hot tears soak through, a sign that she was crying. At that very moment, I was utterly stunned. Ever since I met this millennial fox spirit, she had always been unwaveringly strong, fiercely independent, unyielding. Tears, for someone like her, were a rare luxury. I could guess that the plague god must have crossed a line, done something so devastating that it broke this strong woman who had single-handedly raised her daughter. It's all over now. Everything's in the past, I whispered, consoling her. Right now, crying in my arms wasn't just a release of her pain, it was her way of venting and seeking solace after her mental collapse. Then, as though unloading her heart, the fox spirit began recounting everything. I followed your advice, walking my own path, only to encounter the plague god who had descended to the mortal realm. At first, I didn't know he was the plague god. He claimed he wanted to help me heal, restore my energy. I was so happy. I thought I had finally met someone kind. I remembered your repeated warnings. So, I asked him what the cost of this healing would be. He laughed and said there was no cost, that it was fate, and he simply wanted to restore my energy. I believed him. He gave me a special divine energy. After absorbing it, my energy was entirely restored. I was so grateful that I knelt and bowed to him, thanking him profusely. But when I stood up, I suddenly felt unwell. At first, I thought it was just my body reacting to the recovery, but the pain quickly became unbearable. I was shocked and demanded to know what he had done. He claimed he didn't do anything. But then he pretended to be remorseful, saying he accidentally introduced plague toxins into the divine energy. I was furious and demanded that he remove the toxin immediately. He agreed but insisted I follow him. The pain was too severe, so I had no choice but to go with him. I never expected him to take me to the East Sea Dragon Palace. There, in front of the Dragon King, he flaunted me, claiming I was the first woman he had ever desired, a woman who would remain loyal to him. That's when I realized I had fallen into a trap. Enraged, I tried to leave, but he threatened me with the plague toxin, demanding I stay with him for one night. I refused. I would rather die than comply. Losing face, the plague god became furious and, in front of the Dragon King, sought to humiliate me further. However, he suddenly detected something unusual and hurriedly used his magic to trap me in a room before leaving. I later guessed the plague god must have rushed off either to find you or the Dragon Princess to carry out the Jade Emperor's orders. After he left, I wanted to escape. The Dragon King, sensing his fury, also stormed off, leaving me alone in that room. I tried countless times to break the magical barrier, only to fail repeatedly. I realized my only chance of escape would be to kill him. So, I painstakingly cultivated with all the remaining divine energy he left behind. To my surprise, I accidentally comprehended the art of chi concealment. With this newfound ability, I hid myself and waited for an opportunity. But as time dragged on, my anxiety grew. I worried about my daughter and myself. I was on the verge of mental collapse. Just when I thought I couldn't hold on anymore, the plague god never came. But you did. The fox spirit finally fell silent, her voice heavy with relief and frustration. It's all right. The plague god, he's dead, I said, exhaling deeply. No wonder even the thunder goddess couldn't sense her anger earlier. It all made sense now. She had mastered the art of concealing her chi. When faced with despair, humankind often unearths miraculous resilience. Thankfully, the heavens had shown her mercy. He's dead? The fox spirit sounded shocked. Yes, I nodded. Holding her close, I could feel her restored power. It had even surpassed her previous state. This indicated that she now had the potential to undergo her tribulation, a good omen, confirming the accuracy of my divination. It filled me with a sense of relief. You don't believe me? She suddenly asked. In the darkness, her gleaming eyes stared at me intently from within my arms. Why wouldn't I? I replied, puzzled. Do you think the plague's shadow? She hesitated. I smiled, already knowing what she wanted to say. He didn't touch me. I didn't let him, she declared firmly. Of course, I believe you, I nodded. Why? Because you're still alive, I answered seriously. If she's alive, it means the plague shadow didn't succeed, or maybe she just got lucky, and he didn't have time. She froze at my words. In the darkness, her large eyes sparkled like gemstones. Other than death, I won't give myself to anyone else, she said. Just as I thought. So, what was the plague shadow's method? I asked. First, I needed to get her out of this room. For a 1,000-year-old fox spirit, staying here even a second longer was torture. He used some magic that made it so I couldn't leave no matter what I did. It felt like invisible ropes pulling me back, she explained. A glint flashed through my eyes as I reached toward her back. There was resistance in the air, transparent bindings. The plague shadow had used celestial magic to trap her. I pulled out the Thunderstrike bamboo sword. Thunderstrike bamboo, take a look for me. All right. The sword floated up and began to circle her. Thunderstrike bamboo quickly saw through the spell. It's celestial magic binding her limbs. Can you break it? I asked. I can. The sword began to hack at the invisible bindings, its blade gleaming with green and gold light. Even though I couldn't see the ropes, sparks sizzled in the air as it struck. After a few slashes, there was a sudden boom, and one set of bindings broke. The fox spirit exclaimed, I can feel the bind on my hands is gone. Keep going, I urged. Understood. Thunderstrike bamboo swung 10 more powerful strikes, with sparks flying 3 more times before the magic was completely shattered. I let out a sigh of relief. Now, she'd be able to start her celestial tribulation right away. Having been trapped, she'd already missed the optimal timing, better to act quickly before the risk increased. The sword floated back into my hand. Can you leave now? I asked. Yes. I feel like I can finally move again, she replied, smiling. Just as I was about to relax, her expression twisted as she clutched at her stomach, collapsing to the ground in pain. I was taken aback. It hit me, how could I forget? There was poison in her body. Was it the same lethal toxin I had once endured myself? It's happening again, she groaned, writhing in agony. Even in the darkness, her overwhelming discomfort was palpable. I had experienced this kind of pain firsthand. If the poison wasn't eliminated, her attempt at the tribulation might fail. Failure meant certain death, or at the very least, severe injuries. To give her the best chance, I had to cure the poison first. Seeing her suffer, I said, I have a way to neutralize the poison. Really, she looked at me, hope shining faintly in her eyes. My master taught me this method. It works. But you'll need to cooperate. What should I do? Just tell me, her voice trembled, clearly worn down by the poison's repeated attacks. Don't move. And, forgive me. I placed my hands gently on her face. Before she could react in surprise, I pressed my lips against hers. A wave of sweetness flowed onto my tongue. I drew on her essence while channeling a surge of my own demonic energy. This was the technique my master had used to save me back then. Within moments, I sensed the toxins in her body becoming agitated. Carefully, I enclosed the toxins in my demonic energy, wrapping them tightly. After ensuring none was left behind, I exhaled, pulling out every trace of poison in one decisive breath. The extracted toxins writhed in the air like living creatures, the sight alone enough to chill the veins. Her suffering must have been unimaginable. I dispersed the poison with a single blow. Finally, I released her face, my fingers still warm. Her skin under my hands had been as soft as jelly. Instinctively, I licked my lips. That lingering sweetness remained. How are you feeling? I asked. I needed to ensure she was truly okay before she could face the tribulation. In the darkness, her eyes glimmered faintly. She didn't answer immediately. Instead, I hurried to explain, this is the same method my master used to detoxify me before. You're only the second man to kiss me, she suddenly said. The first must have been the one who had ultimately betrayed her. Awkward, I replied, don't worry. I won't tell anyone. I'll forget all about it. I thought my reassurance would ease her, but instead, she said, I won't let you forget. Her words caught me off guard. No. And I won't forget tonight, either. In the pitch black, we faced each other. I couldn't see her, nor could she see me. Only the sound of our breathing cut through the stillness, slightly uneven. Could you hold me again? She asked softly, her voice barely above a whisper. It seemed to have taken all her courage to say it. When you held me earlier, I felt the strange, unfamiliar sense of safety I haven't felt in so long. I don't let anyone near me, not even close enough to look me in the eye, but with you, it's different. I don't mind at all, she trailed off. I froze, an inexplicable sense of guilt welling up from deep within me. as if it stemmed from a place long forgotten. Do you not want to? She asked in the faintest voice tinged with disappointment. I'm married, I blurted out, my mind spinning with chaos. Oh, right. I forgot you and Jiang Joshuan are married now, she murmured with a bitter, self-deprecating laugh. Do you know that you'll never become an immortal? I do, she said quietly. Then, would you want me to become one? She asked. I nodded. It had been her lifelong pursuit, the ultimate path of the demon clan. Only I and the Long River Dragon Maiden were exceptions now. If you don't want me to ascend, I could stay, like you, she said softly. I wouldn't ask you for such a thing. Hurry and face your tribulation, I said firmly. Forget I said anything. She took a step closer, her tone casual. Then she asked, tell me, why don't I hate you? Anyone else would have been killed by me already. I despise all men except for you. Is it because you know the one who abandoned me? How could I know him? I don't even know what he looks like, I said with a helpless smile. She was now just a finger's width away. I noticed her murmuring to herself as she inched closer, so he's really not someone you sent? No. If he died without me knowing, then. Her eyes suddenly gleamed as she suddenly embraced me on her own accord. Can you hold me again, just one more time, she whispered. My body stiffened. I was at a loss for words. Was it because she had gone so long without genuine affection, that she had mistaken me for him? I sighed, feeling a deep pity for her. A pregnant woman suddenly abandoned by her husband, not falling apart, would be unimaginable. Then, I turned to see the Thunder Mother standing at the doorway. There's someone outside, I said awkwardly. She snapped out of her thoughts, and I gently broke free from her tender embrace. Moving toward the door, I opened it, letting the light stream in and illuminate her profile. Her fair face bore a single streak of tears. That tear streak filled me with overwhelming guilt. I wanted so badly to rush toward her and comfort her, but in the end, I didn't act. When I turned back, Thunder Mother was still at the door. Good to see you're all right, Thunder Mother said with relief, casting a glance at the 1,000-year fox spirit. Thunder Mother, start the preparations. We must get her through her tribulation immediately, I said. There had already been enough delay. Such a rare opportunity for ascension could not be wasted. Thunder Mother was anxious, too. Indeed, we need to act now. If heaven discovers my involvement in helping her, it's against the rules, and her path to immortality will be severed. I'll wait outside for you, bring her out soon. All right. I nodded. Thunder Mother looked into the room at the fox spirit and couldn't help but ask, are you okay? I'm fine, she said, wiping her tears before calmly stepping out. Good. Keep the faith at trials before good fortune. Don't dwell on it and focus on your tribulation preparation, Thunder Mother encouraged. Thank you, Thunder Mother, replied the fox spirit. No need to thank me. In 10 minutes, we'll begin. Your tribulation isn't severe, just 5 strikes of lightning, Thunder Mother reminded her. I'd like to see my daughter before I face the tribulation. I miss her and fear I won't hold up. The fox spirit hesitated. There's no time. The tribulation can't be delayed any longer. I'll wait for you outside. Be quick. Thunder Mother transformed into a streak of lightning and vanished in an instant. It was clear Thunder Mother was trying to avoid any complication that could jeopardize the fox spirit's hard-earned chance at ascension. This time, I'll guard you, I said to the fox spirit with determination. With me here, no one will disturb you. She looked at me. Go face your tribulation. Ascend to immortality in peace. I'll watch over your daughter as though she were my own, I continued. I didn't want her to bear any more worries before her tribulation. Besides, I truly liked her daughter. I genuinely wanted to care for her. In the end, it was all destiny, encountering the little fox and, subsequently, the 1,000-year fox spirit. This destiny was peculiar. Even the little fox spirit seemed instinctively close to me. My daughter said that the first time she met you, she wanted you to be her father. Perhaps it wasn't just a child's innocent remark. Children feel things adults often can't, they know when something's there. The fox spirit said. I remained silent, awkwardly. I trust you with my daughter. It puts my mind at ease. I just worry, after my ascension, I may never come down to the mortal world again, she said quietly. That won't happen, I reassured her. My cultivation isn't that high. Even if I become an immortal, I might still end up as someone's mount, she admitted nervously. Don't worry. Even if a deity tries to bind you as a mount, I'll make sure they let you go, I promised her without hesitation. I believe you, she said with a nod. Let's not waste any more time. Thunder Mother is waiting, I urged. Swiftly, we left the dragon palace and surfaced above the water. As soon as we broke through onto the surface, thick clouds gathered in the distance. Thunder rumbled ominously. Thunder Mother picked a nearby island to serve as the tribulation site. It was already prepared. She seemed under pressure, fearing her part in this might be exposed, which would jeopardize both her standing and the fox spirit's ascension. Retrieving the lightning bamboo, its golden green glow radiated out and carried the fox spirit and me forward. In less than 3 minutes, we arrived on an isolated, football field-sized island. The small island hosted just one large coconut tree, surrounded by calm waters. The surrounding sea creatures had already been startled away. The sky was draped in thick, dark clouds like a heavy blanket. Lightning flickered across the horizon, carrying an ominous energy. The fox spirit's tribulation was milder than that of the Yellow River Dragon King's, only 2/3 as strong. Her lightning strikes were merely 5 in count. Given her current cultivation, she would face no significant difficulty. In recent months, her powers had grown considerably. This is section 108/118 of the content. Below is the result processed logically, maintaining the original paragraph structure, line breaks, and overall layout. I just survived a tribulation and now have first-hand experience with lightning trials. I wasn't worried about her dying, only afraid that delaying too long would lead to unexpected trouble. Focus on your tribulation, I'll protect you, I said solemnly. She stepped into the center of the dark clouds, her expression calm and fearless. It seemed she no longer feared the immortal tribulation. Whether the Lightning Mother would strike lighter as per their agreement depended on her goodwill. Godmother, let's begin, I shouted, impatient to see her ascend. I hoped to lessen the weight of guilt I felt towards her. Suddenly, the Lightning Mother whispered in my ear, "Child, stop talking to me. A celestial being is already aware I'm delaying the immortal tribulation." What? What should we do? I panicked. I must start now. Let her endure this tribulation first. Once it's too late to intervene, no one can stop it, she said. All right, I won't speak to you openly to avoid raising suspicion. Godmother, hurry and begin. I'll keep watch on the sky, I said, fixating my gaze above. The Lightning Mother manipulated the thunder and lightning. The immortal tribulation had officially begun. Thunder roared across the sky as lightning streaked continuously. The 1,000-year-old fox demon remained composed as ever. Keeping my eyes sharp on the horizon, I observed nothing aside from the billowing clouds. However, I also felt a cold, piercing gaze fixed on me. Undoubtedly, it was the Lightning Mother. The icy stare. Did I have some resentment or unresolved issue with her? Amid my growing anxiety and nervousness, boom! The Lightning Mother skipped any formalities and unleashed the first bolt of lightning. This bolt of lightning was over 1/2 meter in diameter, illuminating the sky in an instant, radiating terrifying energy. Crack! The lightning tore through the heavens and struck the fox demon. In that brief moment, the fox demon became completely engulfed by the lightning. The spot where she stood turned into a sea of thunder, with lightning stretching within a 100-mile radius. The sand beneath her feet was even melted into glass by the lightning's intensity. Unbelievable power. Bang! The first bolt dissipated, leaving the fox demon singed with black smoke rising from her body. Yet, she remained composed. This bolt had strengthened her physique rather than causing severe injuries, proving my guess correct. Lightning was no longer as damaging to her. I exhaled in silent relief. Noticing how easily the fox demon withstood the first strike, the Lightning Mother swiftly unleashed the second bolt. She needed to complete all 5 heavenly strikes before the celestial being arrived. Boom! The second lightning bolt fell. I didn't watch her endure the tribulation. My focus remained solely on the sky, vigilant for any sudden disturbances. The oppressive sense of being watched grew stronger, feeding my anxiety. Boom! The third strike followed rapidly. Out of the corner of my eye, I glimpsed a brilliant flash of lightning, yet the fox demon stood unharmed. Crack! The fourth strike descended seamlessly, and I tensed so tightly my muscles ached. Boom! The fox demon endured the fourth bolt. Her complexion turned pale, and her energy had been depleted by a third, though she sustained no major injuries. Her skin now glowed a translucent white, signaling her near transformation into an immortal fox body. All she needed now was to absorb the celestial energy to fully ascend into divinity. Only one final strike remained. My nerves were taut as my gaze urged the Lightning Mother to act quickly. Crack! The fifth and final strike began to coalesce in the sky. Larger, fiercer, and more powerful than the others, its magnitude had doubled. I couldn't estimate how much strength the Lightning Mother was using, but I trusted the fox demon would withstand this final test. She was one step away from transcendence. My heart was gripped with tension. Child, there's no time. Someone is descending with an aggressive aura. Get up there and stop them. If the tribulation is interrupted or the celestial energy fails to integrate, the consequences will be dire, the Lightning Mother urgently warned me in my ear. I was shocked. Who is it? You've seen them before, the Lightning Mother responded. I've faced them before? My mind immediately recalled the black-clad figure from Dragon Creek U's coronation ceremony. She'd tried to kill Dragon Creek U back then, and now, was she targeting the Lightning Mother? Planning to use this chance to kill the Fox Demon? What was her motive? The timing was too convenient. All right. Lightning Bamboo Sword, take me up. I drew my blade, its gold-green light shimmering, and shot into the sky. The Fox Demon, preparing to endure the final strike below, looked at me with worried eyes. She knew what I was about to do. Hundreds of meters apart, I gave her a silent nod, assuring her to focus on the tribulation while I took care of everything else. Last time, when I was in half-dragon form, she fiercely protected me from interfering monsters. This time, I would guard her. Just as I was about to move forward, the Lightning Mother's voice came again. Child, if you face her, make sure I'll destroy her on the spot. I coldly interrupted. The black-clad figure's strength was far below the plague gods, and I had wounded her before. Even if she'd fully recovered, she couldn't unleash her full strength, and I was confident I could kill her. Even if it cost me heavy injuries, ensuring her demise would be worth it. This way, the Fox Demon's ascension wouldn't face any more threats. She has to die. No, child, just stop her, don't kill her, the Lightning Mother said, to my utter shock. I thought I misheard her. Godmother, why? I asked, bewildered. Do you remember the question you asked me about her last time? The Lightning Mother replied. I remember. But you didn't answer, I said. And do you recall what I said then? She continued. I racked my memory. You said, telling you would be pointless because it'd make you lose your will to fight. Let me know if you need further assistance or adjustments. I was instantly stunned. Godmother, are you saying? This implies that although her strength isn't top tier, her status is extremely unique and very extraordinary. Her identity is so special that even the Lightning Goddess dared not speak more on it. She's formidable, someone neither you nor I can afford to provoke. I didn't tell you who she is because I was worried that knowing would cause you to lose your resolve. This time, listen to me, your task is only to hold her off. Absolutely under no circumstances can you kill her. The seriousness in the Lightning Goddess's tone was evident. What if I accidentally kill her? I asked. That's absolutely out of the question. The Lightning Goddess was visibly shocked. Godmother, who exactly is she? My curiosity piqued. She's. The Lightning Goddess stammered, for perhaps the first time ever, visibly hesitant. I knew fear gripped her heart deeply, and I dared not press her further. I've been spending too much time in the mortal realm and my position in the heavens is low, I can't afford to provoke someone like her, she sighed. Godmother, I won't ask anymore. I understand, I replied, unwilling to burden her further. The Lightning Goddess had been nothing but kind to me, I couldn't allow today's events to implicate her. I'll offer my advice, whether you take it is up to you, she continued. Understood. As for the millennial-old Fox Demon's tribulation, leave it to me. I won't let her breakthrough be interrupted. Gratitude swelled within me, and with a movement of my Thunderstrike Bamboo Sword, I shot back toward the heavens. I could feel the Fox Demon's haunting gaze fixed on me, her gentle voice lingering nearby. I don't want you involved, turn back. I remained cold and unfazed, neither turning back nor acknowledging her. My only intent was to block all obstacles in her path. As I surged into the storm clouds, thick black smoke enveloped me, and the thunder roared beneath my feet. The Lightning Goddess wasted no time as she quickly unleashed the fifth heavenly lightning strike. At this crucial moment, the millennial-old Fox Demon needed only to absorb the immortal energy to ascend to immortality. Once successful, the black-cloaked figures would be rendered powerless. But this period is pivotal. Any disruption, however slight, could result in her efforts being entirely sabotaged or, worse yet, her tragic demise. I fixed my gaze on the rising sky. The Thunderstrike Bamboo Sword carried me to an altitude of 5,000 meters, where icy winds howled and the temperature plummeted. Any higher, the extreme cold would feel like knives cutting through flesh. Most demons couldn't even get close to the southern heavenly gate. But I wasn't afraid. My protective demonic energy shielded me, the biting winds were powerless against me. The Thunderstrike Bamboo Sword continued to propel me upward. Sir, she's descending quickly. The sword warned. Before I could react, a massive aura appeared above me, so familiar it was identical to when the plague god had manifested. It seemed she had retreated to the heavens for healing after sustaining injuries. The cloud layers churned violently as a black foot emerged, then another followed. A crackling sound reverberated through the void, akin to glass shattering. The mortal realm could not withstand the presence of a full-strength true deity. As I saw her nearing the ground, I steeled myself and prepared to launch a preemptive strike, thrusting my sword forward with all my might. It didn't matter who she was, her status, no matter how high, wasn't above the Jade Emperor's. I was already scheming against the Jade Emperor himself. She was insignificant in comparison. Still, the Lightning Goddess had instructed me, and I couldn't afford to falter. If she successfully descended, she'd disrupt the Fox Demon's ascension. No matter what, I had to stop her. The Thunderstrike bamboo sword responded to my intent and carried me forward. The cracking of the void grew increasingly loud, the oppressive aura was suffocating. Thankfully, after witnessing the manifestation of the Plague God, I was better prepared for this. Her form became clearer as she drew near, her chest almost at my throat's level. With fierce resolve, I thrust my sword directly at her heart. But in the very next moment, she let out a contemptuous snort. "Did you think I wouldn't notice you? Long Sheba, we meet again." She caught the Thunderstrike bamboo sword with both hands. She wore a celestial artifact, her hands completely encased, allowing her to grab the sword effortlessly. "So what if you noticed? Did you think I approached just to stab you?" I sneered, retracting the Thunderstrike bamboo sword sharply. Channeling pure yang energy with my fingers, I pressed toward the acupoints on her body. At such close range, even a deity would find it difficult to counter my immobilization technique. This time, with the Lightning Goddess involved, I resolved not to kill her, but gravely injuring her? That was more than acceptable. If she were severely wounded, let's see how she'd manage to interfere with the Fox Demon's ascension. Much to my surprise, before my yang energy could make contact, an excruciating pain tore through my eardrums. Ding, ding, ding. An ear-piercing noise invaded my ears. Alarmed, I hesitated. Could it be another celestial artifact? "Sir, there's a celestial artifact on her." "It seems to be a bell," the Thunderstrike bamboo sword informed me. Damn it! She had anticipated my immobilization technique and came prepared. I immediately retreated. Crack! The void near detonated as the black-cloaked figure's head emerged from the giant vortex. Above her head hovered a golden bell the size of a fist, emitting waves of celestial energy. It was this artifact that had caused my earlier pain. Fixing my gaze on her, I knew my chances of striking her down had diminished with her deliberate precautions. So be it, I would settle for merely obstructing her. Bam! She snatched the golden bell, holding it tightly in her palm. "Long Sheba, the entire heavens know of your reputation now. You've slain the Plague God, your boldness knows no bounds." The black-cloaked figure sneered with venom. "And now, 300 heavenly soldiers and generals are descending with Lu Dongbin to exterminate you. Such a spectacle hasn't happened in thousands of years." Here is the English translation adapted for American readers, retaining the original paragraph structure, line breaks, and overall layout. "I won't kill you to steal the Heavenly Guard's credit. Besides, you're not worthy for me to descend from the heavens just for you. Today, I'm here to punish someone for corrupt practices." The words that followed from the figure in black stunned me. Although the Thunder Mother delayed the tribulation, the Fox Demon's speed in passing it was extraordinary. Almost no one could complete a celestial tribulation in under 2 minutes. I hadn't expected her to still find a weakness to exploit against the Thunder Mother. It all made sense now. She had witnessed me passing the tribulation firsthand, held a grudge against the Thunder Mother, and schemed to target her on purpose. Last time, when she helped you pass your tribulation, I already knew she disregarded the rules of celestial punishment. First, there was King Dragon of Jing River altering the rainfall, and now comes the Thunder Mother delaying the tribulation. If she doesn't care for her position, I'll help her relinquish it. The figure in black sneered and cast a cold glance toward the Thunder Mother, far in the distance. I felt a surge of tension, killing intent brimming within me. The Thunder Mother had told me not to kill. I wanted to respect my godmother's wishes, knowing her life in the heavens wasn't easy. But now, it seemed impossible to let this go. Through our bond, my Thunderstrike bamboo could sense my murderous intent. With a flick of my hand, she vanished from sight. Despite that, with the aid of my Thunderstrike bamboo, I continued floating in midair. Seeing that the Millennial Fox Demon was fast approaching ascension, my anxiety grew. Ha, she actually succeeded in passing the tribulation, what dumb luck. The figure in black mocked with disdain, "You demons strive desperately for immortality, even daring to deceive heaven itself? Too bad your divine destiny ends here. Immortality is beyond your reach. From the moment I saw you, your fate to fail ascension was sealed." Her ridicule incensed me, and I retorted, "Were you not once one of us, a lowly being in the mortal world, before ascending? And now you're turning your nose up at others after you've had your fill?" The fox demon had poured her entire life into seeking immortality. What was so wrong about that? What gave her the right to sneer at such a dream? Insolence! The figure in black roared furiously. You're a demon too, harboring ambitions of ascension? As long as I'm here, you'll never achieve it. I met her glare head-on and said defiantly, don't flatter yourself. I don't even want to ascend. Stop pretending. Are you helping her achieve ascension? Well, I won't let her succeed. Let's see you watch helplessly as all her efforts go to waste, and she dies right in front of you. As she smugly announced this, her body began emanating a divine aura. She moved to bypass me, attempting to stop the fox demon's final step toward ascension. How could I allow it? I immediately summoned demonic energy, forming a massive chain. With a furious shout, I hurled it at her. The chain shot toward her with incredible speed. You want to stop her from ascending? Have you even asked me? Today, I'm her protector. Nothing, not even a fly, will get past me. I roared. The chain pursued her relentlessly, but she was faster. Suddenly, a flash of sword light appeared, blocking her path. Caught off guard, she was forced to stop. Boom! The chain coiled around her ankle, and I yanked hard. Get over here! She turned back, her eyes aflame with murderous intent. Nearly losing her balance, she stumbled and exclaimed, You! Clearly, she hadn't anticipated that my strength had surged after completing the tribulation. This demonic chain was unbreakable. She could not free herself. I swiftly tightened the chain, reeling her in like a fish caught in a net. The farther she was pushed from the millennial fox demon, the closer she was dragged toward me. The figure in black growled in anger. How did your strength increase so much? Last time I could overpower you, what happened? What have you been through? She struggled violently, but it was futile. I sighed in relief. If she managed to break free, I wouldn't have much confidence left to kill her. Now, my chances had improved. The Thunderstrike bamboo had moments earlier emerged to stop her and unleashed its ultimate attack, a maneuver of countless swords converging into one. Sword lights flew wildly, and over a dozen Thunderstrike bamboo swords swirled around her, slashing and booming. With the bamboo having become a celestial weapon, its flashes of light clearly startled her. But her black robe was also an artifact. Though the swords struck sparks upon contact, they were unable to pierce the garment, at least not for now. The swords didn't relent, continuing to seek out weaknesses as they attacked. It was becoming a bit of a headache. I began contemplating how to deal the killing blow. The black robe was a problem. I needed a way to make her remove it willingly. But for now, my priority was stalling her, giving the millennial fox demon the time she needed to ascend. At that moment, the Thunder Mother seized an opportunity to channel celestial energy through a breach, directing it toward the fox demon. The fox demon absorbed it steadily. She was so close. I felt a measure of relief. My role as protector was almost over. I worked the chain with renewed speed. The figure in black, seeing herself drawn closer to me, boiled with fury. Her hand reached for a golden bell, which she began shaking violently. A sharp, piercing hum erupted from it. Suddenly, a searing pain shot through my ears, like being stabbed with jagged blades. My head throbbed and grew heavy. I was stunned. This celestial artifact was potent. But I could endure. I had endured lightning bolts raining down before without crying out in pain. This was nothing in comparison. Gritting my teeth, resisting the urge to cover my ears, I continued pulling her toward me. Close enough, and I'd unleash a punch to end it. The bell's hum droned on. You won't last, the figure in black sneered. How long can you truly endure? She shook the bell harder, amplifying the torment. It felt like countless blades hacking at my brain, poised to burst at any moment. Growling low, veins bulging along my arms, I clung fiercely to the chain, pulling her closer. The distance between us dwindled to a mere 10 meters. Just a bit longer, I could endure this. The bell's incessant din scraped at my sanity. You're insufferably stubborn, aren't you? The figure in black mocked, pouring her strength into the bell. Let's see when you'll break. My head throbbed violently, on the brink of explosion, with my blood surging like a raging tide. It felt as if my blood vessels would burst at any second. This artifact was far too sinister. Child, the golden bell is the weapon of a terrifying entity from the heavens. It was sent here with a purpose. Let go, or you'll be shaken to death. I told you, just hold her off, don't throw your life away. Dianmu's voice echoed urgently. Clearly, she still hoped I wouldn't kill the woman in black. So, it was a great celestial artifact? But I couldn't listen to Dianmu now. If I let go, the woman in black would interrupt the 1,000-year fox spirit's absorption of celestial energy. I would lose my chance to kill her. I couldn't take that risk. I endured the pain, pulling with all my might, round after round. 1 meter, 2 meters, 3 meters. As I dragged her closer, the woman in black was almost within reach when I suddenly felt my vision blur red. Blood streamed from my nose, mouth, and ears. I felt an unbearable itching. Could it be that A terrifying thought struck me. The woman in black sneered. Bleeding from all 7 orifices, and you're still holding on? Fine. Die then. Buzz, buzz, buzz. She violently shook her arm, the bell clanging with a piercingly sharp sound as if stabbing into me. She was going for the kill. Ah! I screamed, summoning the last of my strength to yank the chain. The woman in black stumbled, dragged another 2 meters closer. Only 3 meters left. You want to ring that bell? Let's see you try. I let go with one hand, clenching it into a fist, then unleashed all my fury, aiming straight for her head. I had endured this long, every ounce of my rage channeled into this punch. With a surge of power, my fist connected forcefully. The woman in black's eyes widened in shock, unable to dodge in time. You're not dead yet. How dare you hit me? She roared in defiance. Boom! My fist struck the armor-like helmet she wore, as solid as steel. But the blow dazed her. She wobbled, head reeling, movements faltering. The immense pain in my body subsided slightly. Without hesitation, I struck again. Boom! She staggered further, coughing violently, blood visibly trickling from her mouth. I prepared for a third punch. Suddenly, she threw down the golden bell. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Ah! Pain surged through me again, blood vessels bulging as though they were about to rupture. I cursed. Damn it! Playing this game again? Even if it kills me, I won't let go. You're going down, no matter what. Life for life, let's see who's stronger. I can endure this, can you? Gripping the demonic energy chain tightly, I refused to let her escape, delivering another fierce blow. If I could gravely injure her, I didn't care what injuries I took in return. You're insane, she bellowed. A useless nobody dares gamble their life with me? You're not even worthy. 100 of your lives couldn't match a single toe of mine. Suddenly, she acted decisively. As my heavy punch landed on her head, a bizarre scene unfolded. Her head caved inward, bending back as though broken. I froze in shock, losing my balance and nearly falling. The chain in my grasp suddenly slackened, her pull was gone. It was like a tug-of-war when the opponent abruptly lets go, leaving the other side unprepared. My face darkened as I realized the woman in black's head slumped down, her body collapsing limply to the ground. Joy surged in my heart. I shouted, "Thunderstrike Bamboo, stop her! She's escaping from the celestial artifact." It became clear that she never intended to truly gamble her life with me. Bound by the demonic energy chain and knowing she couldn't escape if I persisted, she abandoned her defensive celestial artifact without hesitation. She feared death. With the artifact gone, my chances of killing her skyrocketed. I grabbed the celestial artifact left behind by the woman in black and secured the chain once more. Explosions echoed in the distance. Thunderstrike Bamboo intercepted the fleeing woman in black. But what stunned me was that after shedding her black robes, she turned out to be a teenage girl, no older than 17 or 18. This was entirely unexpected. Who was she? Dianmu had warned that she was someone I couldn't provoke, but her youthful appearance didn't match that description. The girl had a heart-shaped face, strikingly pretty and cute, yet with high cheekbones and thin lips exuding sharpness, a cruel edge to her demeanor. Her methods were ruthless. Her facial features suggested she was a celestial being. Yet her bearing was more akin to that of a servant. Could she be a handmaiden to a greater celestial? Was the true danger Dianmu warned of not her, but the master she served? If that were the case, it would explain why I managed to injure her previously. A handmaiden wouldn't wield true power. Is it really you? Dianmu exclaimed, her face overwhelmed with astonishment upon seeing the girl's true form. Her expression even revealed fear. My heart sank. The terror in Dianmu's eyes told me I absolutely couldn't harm this girl's life. At this moment, Dianmu was afraid. She had admitted before that her celestial rank was far too low, granting her barely any opportunity to enter the Lingxiao Palace. In the presence of higher celestials, she could only look up in reverence, her status insignificant, constantly treading cautiously, fearful of offending anyone of high rank. Yet despite all this, she risked her very head to help us. Seeing Dianmu's fear, I didn't laugh at her. Instead, a sudden heaviness weighed on my heart. For a foster mother who had been so good to me to face such little respect in the heavenly realm, it pained me to imagine how constantly she must tread on thin ice, living in fear. And yet, even under such pressure, she had been willing to stick her neck out to help us. This is the content from section 112/118. Following my logical structure and maintaining the original paragraph format, line breaks, and overall layout, here is the processed result. Lay Mother, it's been so long since you last ascended to Lingxiao Heavenly Palace. Did you actually remember me? Impressive memory. The young girl laughed haughtily, looking down from above. I recall the last time you were kneeling before me, weren't you? Lay Mother's face turned ashen. I wasn't kneeling to you, I was kneeling to. What's the difference? In 10 times I meet you, you're kneeling in 8 of them. The girl sneered coldly. It's been some time, and you've grown bold, huh? Even daring to defy the celestial rules? Lay Mother faltered in the air, her complexion pale like paper. Child, I held onto a sliver of illusion before. But now, it seems shattered. This 1,000-year-old fox spirit, it's better to release her. Let her go immediately. She's someone we truly can't afford to provoke. Lay Mother's frantic voice echoed in my ears, filled with helplessness and despair. I understood her humility and tolerance. But, Godmother, if you release her now, she'll report back to the Jade Emperor that you broke the Thunder Tribulation rules. You'll surely be executed. I said anxiously. There's no way I could implicate my godmother. How could I continue calling her godmother then? It doesn't matter anymore. Ever since you all saved my son, my life has been on borrowed time. Lay Mother shook her head, her face no longer fearful but instead calm. A pang of sorrow hit my chest. Rage grew within me. If you don't release her, the enemy you provoke will kill you. There'll be no escape. Lay Mother continued. Godmother. I called back. Lay Mother's body trembled. She nodded at me, a look of gratification in her eyes. As long as you call me that, I absolutely won't let anyone threatening your life walk away freely. My anger erupted like an inferno, accompanied by a seething killing intent. I couldn't let my godmother await death. Lay Mother was stunned. The last time you secretly released your son, it was already a death sentence. This time, what's taking the life of a maid compared to double jeopardy? What is there to fear? I said coldly. Lay Mother's eyes flickered. Godmother, no need for you to act. I'll handle her. I began approaching the young girl. This kind of matter, I couldn't let my godmother get involved. If I took action, it would merely add a little to her existing crime, a lighter burden. By killing the girl, perhaps Lay Mother's violation could stay masked temporarily. Even if caught, it wouldn't lead to her soul being annihilated since she wouldn't be the one who struck. I would not allow my godmother to dirty her hands. I started channeling yang energy, preparing to use a binding technique to lock her down. Lay Mother, just surrender and come confess your crimes with me. There's no escape for you. The girl sneered with a menacing threat. She hadn't caught on to the silent understanding between me and Lay Mother. Her mocking laugh revealed a sharp, high cheekbone expression, intimidating and sinister. Grasping her golden bell, she fiercely shook it toward the thunder bamboo. The thunder bamboo wavered, its golden green glow flashing erratically, nearly plummeting from the skies. I slipped beneath my feet, almost falling with it. Who owned this thunder bamboo? It must belong to an incredible celestial being if even it couldn't endure such pressure? Cold sweat ran down my back in terror. I currently couldn't fly. If I fell, I'd almost certainly suffer severe injuries. Buzzing, buzzing, buzzing. The girl continued to toy with the golden bell, provoking the thunder bamboo, pushing it to its limits. With our spirits connected, I felt the sharp pain it endured. My footing grew increasingly unstable. Looking downward, my heart quivered with dread. Thunder bamboo, evade her attacks. I yelled urgently. Otherwise, before getting close to the girl, I would end up crashing. I can't, I have to hold on. Thunder bamboo insisted stubbornly. My heart ached fiercely. It was challenging enough to maneuver in the skies, yet I kept pressing forward with all my might. I had to catch thunder bamboo, block the young girl, and prevent her from undermining the 1,000-year fox spirit's final moment. Oh, you can endure? Let's see how long you can hold out. Go on then. Ha ha ha. The girl teased maliciously, adding strength as she toyed with the bell, taking cruel entertainment from thunder bamboo's struggle. Ah, thunder bamboo cried out in agony, its blade trembling. For a moment, the golden green shine completely vanished. The ground beneath me faltered, and I plummeted sharply. The wind howled in my ears as I rapidly descended, the noise piercing, my heartbeat erratic. I instantly steadied myself, doing my best to control my form. One wrong move, and the fall would spiral into further chaos. Whoosh! A streak of swordlight darted toward me abruptly, appearing at my feet in the blink of an eye. It caught me, halting my descent. Looking down, I recognized it immediately. It was the thunder bamboo sword. Thankfully, it had recovered just in time. But it had suffered some damage from the golden bell as well. Now it had transformed into its larger form, gripping the thunder bamboo sword in its hands while hoisting me back into the skies in one swift motion. "Sir, the celestial weapon in her hand is too powerful. I can barely hold on," Thunder Bamboo Sword said. "This celestial weapon must belong to a high-ranking deity," I speculated immediately. "Just that weapon alone nearly defeated us entirely. This deity was overwhelmingly strong." Dark thoughts stirred in my mind. Indeed, the weapon exudes an oppressive aura. "Just approaching it makes my heart race," Thunder Bamboo Sword admitted. It, too, was shaken. "Then stay away from her. Conceal yourself, and leave her to me," I ordered. At this moment, the girl had lost her protection from the black-clad celestial weapon. I had a chance to finish her off. Thunder Bamboo Sword obediently vanished from sight. I proceeded cautiously, step by calculated step. This is the content from segment 113/118. Here is the processed result, retaining the original paragraph structure, line breaks, and overall layout as requested. The young girl soared toward the millennial fox spirit, and I swiftly hurled my demonic energy. The demonic energy chain split in midair, transforming into 10 thick ropes to intercept the girl. Although they couldn't match her speed, the velocity of the thrown demonic energy was remarkable. In an instant, it reached her. The 10 ropes wove into a net, blocking her path. She turned her head and sneered coldly, "Come closer, and I'll kill you instantly." She shook the bell. Pain coursed through me. I endured and approached quickly. The girl wasn't foolish. She knew I had a paralyzing skill and understood the need to maintain a distance once her protective aura was gone. When I got within 10 meters, she cautiously shook the bell harder. I growled. It felt like my head was about to explode. Yet I didn't retreat, only closed in further. Pain twisted my face as blood streamed from my eyes, nose, and mouth. But I clenched my teeth and pressed forward step by step. 10 meters, 8, 7. Each meter closer made my blood boil. The girl's expression shifted from smugness to shock. "You're crazy, you lunatic." Her tone changed, and she began to panic. Comfortable as she was in the air, my furious charge had rattled her. She screamed and backed away, clearly fearful I'd pounce on her. I manipulated the demonic energy net to lunge toward her. Once ensnared, she'd be doomed. "Get lost," she cursed. Whoosh! She spat a divine gust of wind, forcing the demonic net back. She was strong, no doubt about it. But taking advantage of this moment, I had already advanced in big strides, ready to strike. Suddenly, boom! The girl exploded into a cloud of smoke. My heart sank. A celestial escape technique? I quickly looked 100 meters away and saw her smugly materializing again. "Never seen this before, huh? You think you can stop me? I was just messing with you, I'm a celestial being." Her grin was full of arrogance, making my chest sink deeper. I hadn't expected her to use a celestial escape, widening the gap to 100 meters in the blink of an eye. Would I have to lure her down to the ground? In the air, I couldn't unleash my ultimate technique, the 10-step fatal strike. Not being able to fly was truly limiting. Still, 100 meters wasn't an insurmountable gap. "Don't waste your breath absorbing celestial energy. With me here, you'll never succeed in becoming immortal," she mocked the millennial fox spirit. I was alarmed and immediately lunged toward her. I couldn't let her stop the fox spirit from ascending. Buzz, buzz, buzz. As the girl shook her golden bell again, a sudden flash of swordlight appeared, slicing toward her hand. "So you dare show up again? Die!" Furious, the girl directed her rage at the thunder-stricken bamboo sword, shaking her bell violently once more. The bamboo sword quivered and cried as waves of instability rippled around me, making the ground tremble like quicksand beneath my feet. But I pressed on relentlessly. At the same time, I summoned more demonic energy, forming another 10 thick ropes to hurl at her. What was 100 meters? The demonic energy reached her in an instant. Ah! The thunder-stricken bamboo sword could no longer hold up and vanished once more. With this golden bell in hand, who dares take another step? I'll kill whoever defies me. Now it's your turn, she sneered. I told you to stop absorbing celestial energy. Are you deaf? Celestial energy isn't something a mere demon like you can harness. Spit it out, now. The girl's laughter was chilling, like that of a merciless butcher, as she aimed the golden bell at the millennial fox spirit yet again. The bell's hum resonated, roaring like thunder toward the fox spirit. Suddenly, the fox spirit's entire body froze. A surge of pure celestial energy exploded outward. Crack! The sound of something shattering echoed through the void, the very same sound as when the girl first descended from the heavens. A suffocating aura, foreign to the mortal world, burst forth from the fox spirit. I stood stunned. The fox spirit had completely transformed. Her entire form was engulfed in flames of radiant light, her cascading hair and flowing gown dancing in the breeze, wreathed in divine energy. I was dumbfounded. In the sky above, the Thunder Mother wore an exhausted yet deeply gratified expression. From the fox spirit's center, waves of powerful light rippled outward, pushing back anything in their path, including the bell chime's influence. Boom! The void erupted with a deafening sound, like it was being torn apart. The girl's face twisted in shock, and she shrieked, "Why you actually became immortal? Did I?" The millennial fox spirit's cool gaze bore into her a sharp and unyielding glare. Standing frozen under the fox spirit's terrifying gaze, the girl didn't dare to act brashly. I snapped back from my shock, realizing I had succeeded in protecting her long enough. I had witnessed firsthand the moment a demon ascended to immortality. Relief swept over my heart. The millennial fox spirit's cultivation had skyrocketed. As an immortal, her power far surpassed that of the girl, who was nothing more than a pampered servant of a celestial. A fox spirit who ascended step by step through her own efforts, how could they possibly compare? Moreover, the fox spirit's entire appearance had transformed. Could she have ascended to the status of a nine-tailed celestial fox? If she was now an immortal, no one would dare treat her as a mount anymore unless she willed it. "How dare you?" the girl snarled, still trying to assert herself. "You're just a newly ascended minor celestial. Do you dare meet my gaze? Kneel." Facing her commands, the fox spirit stood firmly as the wind surged around her, brimming with unshakable divine energy. Kneel? There was no chance. Her cold eyes gleamed with an icy sharpness. Whoosh! In an instant, she vanished. I froze in astonishment. She's planning to kill the girl? This is segment 114/118. The following content has been processed according to my logical analysis while retaining the structure, paragraphing, and formatting of the original text. No, this can't happen. The millennium-old fox demon is about to ascend. If the celestial immortals detect even a trace of maidenly essence on her, she'll be doomed. This is something I must do. I'm already a condemned man, I'd gladly take on more guilt. Thunderstrike bamboo, take me over there, I shouted anxiously. Buzz! The Thunderstrike bamboo sword emerged beneath me. With a swoosh, it whisked me away at lightning speed. The maiden, seeing the 1,000-year-old fox demon vanish, cried out in alarm, "What are you doing?" "I'm..." Buzz buzz buzz. "Dare you defy me?" The maiden shook her bell furiously, unleashing an ear-splitting clamor. She tried to use the bell to drive away the fox demon.